Happy Sunday, everybody. How are you guys today? Okay, I'm Dr. Tamika from the Chamber Talk Show, and I am getting ready to, we're going to answer some questions today. All of the doctors are getting information as we are getting close to the holiday season, and it's up on us. And a lot of people kind of deal with things during the so the doctors are getting ready to come in, and we're going to kind of address some issues that people are having as people start having anxiety and dealing with other things and the crises that people deal with at this time of year. So I'm waiting on Dr. Whitney to join us as well. And we're just going to talk. We're going to address some things that are happening today. One thing we know for sure is that a lot of people are dealing with mental health issues. We're nearing Christmas and, of course, Thanksgiving coming up. Hey, ladies, how are you? Hey, doctors.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. It's so good to see you, ladies. How are you?
Doing well. Doing well.
Good. You both. Happy Sunday. You both look amazing.
Thank you.
You as well.
You as well. Yeah.
Check out my new lips.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
I thought I'd go with something a little bit, fuchsia plum family.
I like it.
What the hell, Dr. Whitney? Come through.
Come through.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Of course, you ladies being doctors and therapists, the holiday season is upon us. And of course, last year, Dr. April, we did cuffing season, cuffing and COVID. So we definitely are going to have to go back and dive in and do a show dealing with cuffing and COVID, because we got a big response on that as well. A lot of viewers out there. So I want, though, to tackle a few issues that a lot of people are dealing with today that work in the public's eye. Like, for example, you have that tennis player. Her name is it Osaka? I know she's dealt with some things in the past. What can you guys kind of shed some light on that?
I mean, as far as I'm not going to say I'm extremely well versed in the specifics of what's going on with her, but I do know that I had just been seeing a lot of her just getting praised for just actually standing up and for herself and advocating for herself and saying that she needed, time away from the sport, and that she needed to, take care of her mental health, which is very admirable. I know she had a lot of pressure, and I'm sure a lot of athletes have a lot of pressure that neglects their mental health, and they prioritize, because that's their job, like that their sport, that's their job, so they really struggle with prioritizing their mental health over
right, because you're already dealing with you're dealing with something very strenuous. We had the gymnast not very long ago deal with that when she was out of the country. We can hit on that as well. Were you going to add to that, Dr. April?
Yeah, I mean, even like with Simone, the gymnast that you referred to, I commend them for actually taking a step away to work on their mental health, because it's a lot of pressure being in the public eye, and you're just doted on to do so well. So that creates a level of anxiety by itself. So then having all of that it's mounting to where they can really hurt themselves. I think Simone stated, if I turn a flip wrong, I can break my neck. So having all of that mounted pressure, it's good to say, no, I'm just going to step back so I can calm my nerves and get myself together and really tune out everybody around me, because it's creating a level of pressure for a sport that I love, that was fun for me to do. Now it's not fun anymore because it's all this added pressure to do so great.
Absolutely. And working in the school system, it's difficult. It's challenging right now with myself, walking around with a mask all day with hundreds of students in the building. So I think we are all feeling the pressure of the holidays as they have approached. I was reading actually that Kendrick Lamar, Chrissy Teigen, some of those other celebrities as well deal with depression issues and mental health issues. So we do have a few questions from people that follow the show, but I want to, as we move into the holiday season, what are some things you doctors can tell people that are struggling already before we even hit Thanksgiving that they can do? We're still dealing with COVID. We're still dealing with people who have job loss. There are so many issues. As part of the doctor's chambers, what can you tell those people out there?
I'll jump in there. I just, first of all, can I just say, where did the holidays come from? How are we,
I know.
how are we here? Like, I'm not prepared at all. So I can speak for sure from, I know the holidays, it's big. Everybody is probably used to like really doing it big, Thanksgiving, Christmas. We're used to just really, going all out and I would just say for every person, you just really have to check in with yourself and determine like where you're at and what you at this point in time, what you feel like your capacity is in terms of the holidays. If you feel like you can do the full production, do it. If you don't, and really be okay with that, because that's what I had to do. Like, okay, first of all, they snuck up on me the holidays. I think with everything happening just over the last year, I hadn't gotten back my calendar just isn't on track.
So it's okay. You're saying it's okay not to be okay sometimes.
Absolutely.
I like that. Dr. April?
Yeah, see, the thing about it, I have tons of friends that lost parents, lost relatives, lost cousins, this year. So I would say take a pause.
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving is one day, Christmas is one day. You still have to live outside of all these holidays. Take a pause, self-care, take one day at a time. Do what you can do, what you feel that you can do, not the expectations of what others are putting on you.
Okay. So I got a message from John, and John sent a message, and of course it was in the inbox. And his question to me was, how do you deal with the holidays when you are not working, the normal hours due to COVID? What are some things that you can tell your child? So I know that's something that you all deal with sometimes in therapy when you're dealing with parents who there's a lack in the household.
I think it's important to be honest with your kids. Tell them that, because children are very smart and they're very understanding. Instead of maybe those 10 gifts that you would get them for Christmas, maybe you can only get one or two this year. So I think sitting down and explaining it to your child, okay, what are some things that you really want or that you really need, and just, narrow it down to two, because this year, mom and daddy are not able to do what we did maybe in the previous years. And that's okay.
And I think kids actually do understand that. So now let's jump into adults, because we know for us, the pressure of just, for me, when I'm shopping sometimes in this thing, there are things that I want. And I'm like, okay, remember, let me stay focused that I'm shopping for other people. This is not about me. So I think sometimes too, that's important to remember that it may be about other people. But with this season, a lot of people that are single, they get lonely. So we know cuffing season starts around this time and goes to around the Valentine's Day. So what can people who are single do to stay, mentally fit or mentally whole or holistically well?
I think that's a pressure thing too. Like, I think, people have to, whether if you're single, you have to, take a pause, like Dr. April said, and really think about like what's important and what's going to make you feel whole, going and maybe making some of those purchases that maybe you don't really need to make, that you're going to end up regretting or feeling guilty about later. Is that going to add to your stress, or is that going to alleviate your stress? Like, really thinking through some of that. And I really think some, changing from something that's gifts that are so expensive, maybe like going into something that's more thoughtful, thinking about more, sentimental, things that you can do or things that create memories versus, just spending the coin.
Okay. And I want to ask Dr. April as well to chime in on that, but being busy too, maybe joining a church group, maybe joining a fitness, maybe joining a gym,
Mm-hmm.
joining a church. There are things that people can do. And I think people forget. They just kind of sink in despair. And I have a friend now that's dealing with some anxiety and some depression. And so for me, spiritually, there's a component there. I said, hey, think on those things that are lovely, those things that are pure. Go find scriptures that are positive affirmations. So speaking of affirmations, before we actually move to a close, Dr. April is the queen of affirmations. So let's hear from you.
But I wanted to add before we get into that is, for single people during the holidays, like you said, it's a lot of loneliness sometimes, but it doesn't have to be. Change your mind frame around being single. That's not a bad thing. You can leave and go as you please, especially if you don't have kids. But if you have kids, you're not single anyway. You may be single in the aspect of not having a partner or relationship, but you can do fun things with your kids. Get out and enjoy yourself. Plan events, go on a trip, go on a drive, do some things that will make you and your family, you and your kids happy. It's more to life than just focusing on, okay, this romantic aspect of it. While you're in the process of waiting on that to come into your experience, enjoy yourself. Get busy focusing on you. That's important.
I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. So affirmations, we just wanted to jump on briefly this afternoon. Of course, we are the doctors of the Chamber Talk Show. This is the Doctor's Chambers, and we're going to be jumping on from time to time. So you can definitely send us some information if you have questions or if you want something addressed. We'll be jumping on Sundays and just kind of answering those questions and talking about those things that impact our mental health, because it's so important to live a holistically well life. So as we move to affirmations and move to leaving the chambers this afternoon, Dr. April, talk to us. Give us some positive affirmations.
Well, the positive affirmation for this holiday season is, hey, life is amazing. We just have to live it. There you go.
Life is amazing. We just have to live it. I was just saying that because I intend to live it to the fullest. Yeah. I'm getting ready to head really post brunch because I'm going to watch a game. But I think, it's so important to engage with healthy people that think, healthy and they are positive. I know things aren't always peachy, but a positive mindset. I think you hit on that as well, Dr. April and Dr. Whitney. So again, we definitely thank you guys for joining us. I know somebody made a comment about students, and so just be sure to tune in. We'll be here weekly, just talking about mental health and some things that are happening with mental health as we move forward. But we definitely appreciate you guys tuning in to us. Any final words, Dr. Whitney, Dr. April?
No, I just want to tell everyone to enjoy the holiday. And I like what Dr. April said as far as her affirmations, and think about creating memories, lasting memories, and just live life to the fullest.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, I want to say thank you, ladies, as well, you doctors, for taking time out of the afternoon to jump on to address some of the concerns that people have as we move into the season. Why don't we dress cuffing and COVID still on next Sunday, if you guys are free? That's if we're free, because it is the holiday. We may have to move that down a little bit, because I'll be traveling. I think Dr. April, you'll be traveling as well, and I know Dr. Whitney will be hosting families. So we'll be back on here soon, and I'll talk to you beautiful doctors soon. Have a great day.
Bye.